Namaskar and welcome to Sansad Television. I am Vishal Dahiya and you're watching our show Perspective, where we bring you detailed analysis of key national and international issues. Today we're going to talk about drones. Now, unmanned aircraft systems, commonly referred to as drones, are democratizing the sky and enabling new participants in aviation. Inaugurating the Bharat Drone Mahotsav on Friday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi highlighted the importance of drone technology in the fields of defense, disaster management, agriculture, tourism, film and entertainment. He also said that the enthusiasm surrounding drone technology in India indicates that it could soon become an emerging sector of employment generation in India. According to Civil Aviation Ministry's estimates, India's drone sector is all set to achieve a total turnover of 120 to 150 billion rupees by 2026 from its current turnover of about 800 million rupees. In the recent past, the central government has undertaken a series of reform measures to promote India's upcoming drone industry. The new drone laws have started facilitating traction in the market, with numerous companies partnering to disseminate technology knowledge as well as attract funds. Now, in today's episode, we will discuss and analyze all aspects of how drones are all set to change the scenario and what else is required to make further moves in this particular sector. And for more on this, we're joined by a distinguished panel of experts. Let me first introduce them to you, beginning with, we have with us in our studio Dr. Rajiv Nayan. He's a Senior Research Associate with MPIDSA. And we're also joined by Mr. Sai Pattabiram. He's Managing Director of Zuppa Geo Navtech. Welcome, both of you gentlemen, to Sansad Television. We are also joined by Dr. R.K. Narang. He's a defense policy expert who's joining us virtually. Welcome, Dr. Narang, to you as well. Let's first begin by understanding the context of what we're trying to, discuss. And by context, I mean a little bit more about drones, a little bit more about why it is considered to be the next big thing when we're talking about technology and its application. I'll start with you, Dr. Nayan, and then I'll come to Mr. Pattabiram as well.
Look, as you have rightly pointed out, it is unmanned. The moment you are using the term unmanned, means you are taking yourself to a different terrain, where you had difficulties in reaching through any machine or individually. So this is important because of that. Now, second importance lies in the fact that India is developing its technology very fast. The world is developing its technology very fast. Many of the strategic terrains, many of the even developmental terrains which looked impossible to achieve are appearing within our reach. So this is quite significant. And third point is that, as today we heard Prime Minister and we also heard other Minister Jyoti Aditya Scindia told that 370 startups. And this is very significant that new companies, smaller companies, they are contributing to it. And as you have rightly pointed out, our drone rules, which came in 2022, it tried to strike a balance. I will not say that, as many have been pointing out, that it is liberalizing our regulatory system. Fine, we are liberalizing our regulatory system, but without losing sight the aspect of security. So it's a very balanced, I can say, set of rules. Plus, it has given incentives. Okay. It has just removed, as Prime Minister says, ease of doing business, and its purpose is to see that any of our scheme reaches the last man, or it should reach where it looked impossible. As he talked about agricultural drone, how they use some say deshi, or you can say indigenous method, not I will say technology, like just releasing balloons, and through those balloons just seeds were spread all over the highly you can say mountainous areas. Okay. So now you can technologically tag it, and you can see its growth. So it is good for not just agriculture, but also for environment. You can have trees grown in areas where trees need to be grown, and it was becoming impossible to go there. Okay. So all these things he highlighted, how development can make use of this technology, the future technology, as you rightly pointed out, it is futuristic technologies.
Okay, futuristic technology and a lot of avenues there and a lot of, scope for further improvement also. But you spoke about industry. Let me bring in, Mr. Sai Pattabhiram here. Mr. Pattabhiram, looking at it from industry's perspective and also looking at from somebody's perspective who is, involved in pushing through the drone technology and a part of the drone ecosystem in India, which we're talking about. How would you look at the place where we stand vis-a-vis our drone sector and what we are set to achieve, the way we are moving ahead?
Well, my views on this, as he has covered the civilian aspects and the agricultural aspects, I'll go a little more into the technological aspect.
Yes.
Because one of the things that actually, when we talk about something being unmanned, one of the critical factors is taking off the man. And taking off the man is done by an electronic chip. And that becomes the critical part of the technology. And that's where, like how in the case of a laptop or a desktop, you have Intel's chip, or in the mobile, you have the Qualcomm's chip. In drones, there is a scope now for India to really go into the chip level and lead the world, where we are already contemporary in terms of technology in many ways. Now, the other area that is of very great importance that is coming up for the drone industry perspective is the fact that, in terms of defense, unmanned technology has become very critical. We've seen it in the Azerbaijani-Armenian war and subsequently now in the Ukrainian-Russian war, where you're having a lot of asymmetric defense, defense systems that have come up, primarily with a lot of unmanned factors into this. So this becomes not only of strategic importance from a security and a defense perspective for the nation, like it delivers the civilian side of it, it is also important from the, it's important to keep this from the defense perspective in mind and build this technology going forward for both civilian and defense use. And as far as an industry perspective is concerned, India is one of the largest markets in terms of usage of technology. India is one of the largest adopters of any technology, and that we've seen it, be it the the online payment or the digital payment systems or whatever. So being a major adapter, I think Indian companies have a huge potential to really grow in this space and to really capture not only the Indian markets but also lead the world. And I think Prime Minister's vision of making India the drone hub of 2030, I think is very much feasible and very much within the reach. And the recent initiatives have definitely pushed the industry towards getting to that point.
And then we'll come to that aspect also a little bit later when in, how the policies are making the changes and what more needs to be done. But let me first bring in Dr. R.K. Narang here. Dr. Narang, quite a lot of applications, quite a lot of opportunities and avenues here, as both Mr. Pattabhiram and Dr. Nayan are pointing out. But from your perspective, if we have to understand, the low-hanging fruits, where do we start from actually the way we have begun, and what are the big, achievements which are easily possible in the near future?
The first thing, Indian drone industry has proven their capability to develop drones by competing with the global OEMs. This was visible when Prime Minister handed over military drones to Indian Army last year. Remember, these drones were acquired where foreign OEMs were allowed to compete. They competed, they outperformed them. They were cheaper, and performance was happily accepted by the defense forces. So our indigenous manufacturers have demonstrated their capability to develop some of the capabilities which Indian armed forces were looking at for operating at high altitudes, for operating in high hot environment. So typical tough conditions which India faces and other countries do not face. So some of the capabilities in a small drone sectors, we need to leverage them for our optimal use. And some of the companies got pre-orders. So I think there was enough opportunity, and they have demonstrated that they have the world-class capability. Coming to the future, I think SWARM is again an area which emerged out of Mir Baba competition. It was an initiative taken by Indian Air Force in 2018. That today we are seeing a SWARM technology which has not matured anywhere in the world. It is in an evolution stage. So first time India is not developing advanced aircraft which is existing. It is developing a technology which has not evolved.
Okay.
So some of them these innovative technologies India is ready to plug, and it is there. Now, there are some similarities or some of the interoperabilities of civil drone sector vis-a-vis military drone sector. But last year was an issue of all the drone policies, but how much of technological initiatives we needed. So those issues have to be addressed, and to make that possible, how technological initiatives made difference in the defense sector was Meher Baba competition, IDEX competition.
Okay.
And Meher Baba results have shown that we have developed strong technology. IDEX has shown that we developed counter-drone technology when one of the company got orders recently from the Armed Forces, Indian Air Force, to supply counter-drone technology. So these initiatives, so low-hanging fruits are these D&D initiatives. But are these D&D initiatives adequate? Today, we have a IDEX and IDEX Prime where 1.5 crores and 10 crores are there.
Okay.
Globally, people are spending millions of dollars in hundreds of millions. So I think there is a scope for these to enhance, to leverage the intellectual capital available in the country to develop more advanced systems.
Okay.
It is available. I will talk about some of the leveraging of civil technology. As and when you
we'll come to that part as well, Dr. Narang. In fact,
yes.
That's the point which I wanted to bring to both Dr. Nayan and Mr. Pattabhiram. I'll start with you, Mr. Pattabhiram, in terms of the application of these technologies. Development, of course, is very important part, as you're pointing out, and we have made our mark, and there is a lot to achieve there as well. But when you're talking about two aspects, one is the existing ecosystem, the way the policies are being made to go ahead and give a impetus to that ecosystem, and also the application or the usage in both sectors, civilian as well as strategic, that is defense. So from your view and from the industry's view, what is being done? Is that enough, or is there room for more things which should be done so that industry can come about with the new innovations, with new ideas to go ahead and utilize that talent pool and the technology we have?
See, one of the issues that the drone industry per se has faced for a very long time, and which today is easing out thanks to the easing of the regulations in February, is the fact that funding of the development of applications and funding of development of technologies has been a bit of a shortcoming as far as India is concerned, and especially so in the defense side of it. Though there are programs like IDEX, as Dr. Narang pointed out, but I think there needs to be a little more to be done there in terms of aligning the capabilities that are available across the country into a kind of a national, pipelining it into a national kind of a, initiative where the specific, fundings could be given and specific projects could be developed with the available capabilities that are there in India today.
Okay.
So I think that is one aspect that can be improved, and I'm sure will be improved over a period of time.
Okay. Dr. Nayan, your views there, because you earlier spoke about utilization of technology in civilian sectors, for example, farming, agriculture as well, and those are the areas where this will become very, very handy as well. Of course, strategic importance and usage in defense areas is equally important as well. But areas like farming, agriculture, pharmaceuticals, or even other civilian sectors, it will generate more employment also and reach more directly to the people. That last mile connectivity which you're referring to.
Definitely. Look, first of all, it is not that government is not coming out with incentives. Government is giving incentives. Just starting with this agriculture sector, you can just be funded cent% money for buying drones for agricultural use. So government is really promoting the use of drone. Even government is willing to provide 75% of funding for exhibition of drones to agriculture associations. Second thing is, just now the point was made about defense, money coming from defense sector. In fact, money is unutilized. Government, DRDO has got technology fund in which innovators, you can say startups, are encouraged to come and give their ideas. Of course, there will be a committee and some committees which will decide about it. So it is government is coming, like Prime Minister, the importance lies when Prime Minister is coming out and having this exhibition, Mahotsav.
Indeed.
And before that also, not only that in the agriculture sector, already mapping business has been done. I mean, rules which we have talked about, 90% of the area comes in the, it has been put in the rules like green area, means up to you have got permission to fly your drones. So government is encouraging, government is giving money, government is, I mean, if you are not using it, it's a different thing. But we are coming in a big way. In fact, I am telling you, we had many educational institutions, academic institutions like IIT, which had patented their designs. But somehow it had just restricted to the design level, not coming out in form of technology.
Okay.
So now they have got an opportunity to come out and work on it and have tie-up, have collaboration, networking. Now entrepreneurship should come.
Okay.
So that is quite important. He talked about mind, chip. Chip is important. Side by side, engine development is important. I mean, it has got several uses in security, in defense. Like suppose one drone, smaller drones. You don't need to have a bigger drones. A smaller drones can move forward with the marching our central police forces. Then you can have real-time data whereby you cannot be attacked. So, and it can be easily done. You have to just apply this technology. You must have policy. Second, about swarm technology, which is, I as a security analyst, you can say a student of security studies, in fact, we saw it as a problem, as a challenge, but it provides you an opportunity also. Swarm technology, swarm drones, this is being considered as a big threat if you read all American literature and how to regulate it. So it is not that we are not moving forward. We have got technologies. Only thing is that we have to apply it properly, and there is enough scope. Sorry, now government has realized and government is pushing it forward.
Okay.
So now industry has to make use of it.
Okay.
If they don't do it, it's their fault.
Okay, Mr. Pattabhiram, since he's tossing the ball to the industry, the question here I have is that from the industry's point of view, what are the key areas where the industry believes that, these are the potential areas where in the next 5 to 10 years, the usage of drone is something which will not only be crucial, but also will get a traction and will not only generate revenue and employment, but also be helpful to the people?
Well, the critical areas, as he has already mentioned, from an industry's perspective, is from a civilian application perspective, are areas like agriculture, where definitely pesticide spraying is is something that is being encouraged, and that is something that definitely has a lot of scope to build on. Then there is the mapping, which under the Ministry of Panchayati Raj and under the Samavita program, the digitization of land records is being done already with the use of drones. And further, there is also trials being made for last mile connectivity in the medical sector of delivering medicines and to remote locations. These are definitely going to be areas where there is going to be a lot of scope. And India, given the size of the country and the and the lack of and the ability to connect medical facilities in a much shorter time. What would possibly take 3 hours by road could be done in 10 minutes by drone. So these are the kind of areas where we definitely as an industry see the future coming through.
Okay.
And government definitely has taken a lot of initiatives, and they are pushing in all these areas. And I think these are the areas of last mile connectivity, of agricultural mapping. And I see another area of agriculture today. Everybody, when they talk about agriculture, they talk about pesticide spraying. But one of the areas where we see drones to be coming up quite significantly would be the areas of multispectral imaging, where crop health can be monitored using drones and imaging. And thereby you would be able to do a lot more of precision agriculture and provide the intervention required where it is required, and not spread across the whole field kind of thing.
Okay.
So these are areas where definitely drone technology can play a significant role, and will play a significant role in the going forward.
Okay, okay. Dr. Narang, you were earlier talking about how the civilian sector, in terms of application of usage of drone technology, is also equally important as the strategic or the defense areas. And as both the gentlemen here are pointing out, there are ample avenues, there are a lot of options here, and of course a lot of work to do also. And when we look at every area where the drone technology can be applied, it looks like there are a lot of benefits which can be accrued in a very short period of time.
As we spoke about that, military and defense industry are interdependent. One of the examples we have given is indigenously designed, developed, and manufactured drones in India. Civil defense, we have a IDDM category, and people buy IDDM drones. However, in civil, this is not, followed in the same manner. One of the reasons is there is no categorization of IDDM in the certification of drones. So I believe there is a need for creating an IDDM category in certification, and then all ministries should be given an instruction to follow or acquisition of drones which are IDDM and taken on drone-related services from IDDM drones. The second part is India needs an ecosystem. We need testing sites, drone hubs, and the next challenge will be certification of larger drones.
Okay.
And another pillar of drone manufacturing is standard and standardization. And lastly, and most important part is, no ministry is responsible for formulating or following the drone technology initiatives. So I think there is a need to designate one ministry, whether it's a ministry of MIT or whether it's a civil aviation, whichever is the ministry, there should be one ministry for technological initiatives. Regulatory initiatives have been followed up by the Ministry of Civil Aviation, but there is a silence on technological initiatives. And one area where both sectors are likely to be affected is integration of manned and unmanned aircraft, both in civil as well as in military.
Okay.
These are the areas which are have not received due attention, and if we are able to address it, I think we will be able to achieve much greater success in our Atmanirbhar Bharat mission.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Indeed, those are very important and key, aspects there. And when we're talking about challenges, Dr. Nayan, those areas are the ones where work is almost, being done when we're talking about the policy aspect. Of course, both the policy and the technology innovation will have to go hand in hand when we talk about the ecosystem and a perfect ecosystem for it to grow further. In your views, these challenges, how do we tackle them? And also, in addition, if there are any, of course, one would be the security issue.
3-4 issues just to point out. First, about the regulatory framework. The way it has been evolved, it is being evolved to the emerging situation. It is praiseworthy. Like in March 2021, there was a set of rules. Drone rules came in March 2021. Those rules were not found very industry friendly. So immediately all these rules were amended. And in August, September, we had another set of rules. Again, those were amended in March, as has just been pointed out. So all the issues which have been raised have been taken care of if you read all the text of the...
And they'll evolve further as well.
Second, about the institutional framework. I think Civil Aviation Ministry is doing very well. There are so many ministries, departments involved which need technology, like Weather, Forecasting, Agriculture Ministry, Defense Ministry. You will have many industries which need defense, drone technology, drones. So one agency will have to coordinate. So it could be anyone. So just now Civil Aviation is doing.
Okay.
So I think we have to strengthen civil aviation. Coming about defense sector, security, now we are moving from reconnaissance role of drones to weapon carrier role of drones. So this is the new stage in the warfare.
Okay.
This is new stage of security. So now we have to develop technology to suit this need, because this is the global trend. Now even submarine is under trend because of UUAV, unmanned and underwater vehicle. So this is the new phenomenon coming.
Okay.
So all manned, just now told that there is integration of manned and unmanned. So our technological ecosystem, which he has been talking about, has to suit to this need. And in fact, we are doing very well. This is what I am saying. Government is again coming out with several financial incentives, and already some companies have been listed. Earlier, as I told you, some startups are doing well. So now we have to focus on engine, and design is our design industry, our design sector is considered to be very good in all over the world. In fact, they want to control it. So this is the situation. Now we have reached an exciting stage. We have to capitalize it. This is the stage we are.
And indeed, all these things will keep on evolving with the time because technology is ever evolving aspect. Thank you so much, Dr. Rajiv Nayan, Mr. Sai Pattabhiram, and Dr. R.K. Naranga as well for sharing your views and insight with us and our viewers. As our experts were pointing out, clearly it is an exciting stage when we're talking about the drone technology or the drone sector in India. A lot of opportunities. Policy-wise, a lot of decisions being taken, reform measures being put in place to ensure that there is an ecosystem to give further impetus to the technology aspect as well as the investment and ultimately the application of that technology for the benefit of a common man. We'll come back again with a different topic and all the details. Till then, keep watching Sansad Television. Thank you.